Let's go to a woman who represents why the activists who say that Indigenous Australians don't have a chance in this country are so profoundly wrong. Her first language is Warlpiri. She was born in the desert, grew up in a humpy, a first-time mum at the age of 13, a survivor of domestic violence, but a woman with an extraordinary resilience. After graduating university and starting her own business, she entered politics, later, of course, became a minister in the NT government. Her name is Bess Price. And yes, she's the mum of the wonderful No campaigner and coalition frontbencher Jacinta. Bess, welcome. Thank you for your time. I want to discuss an issue very dear to your heart, and that's, of course, this wonderful school in Alice Springs, where I know you're on the board. It's a school where a lot of the kids there come from pretty tough backgrounds. I've visited the school. I'm in awe of what they do, and we know, you and I both know, education's about the only way of breaking the cycle of dysfunction. You want help to build a boarding school for these kids. You want 85 beds in the school so they don't have to spend, 3 and 4 hours a day on a bus, or live in a home where there's violence, so they've got a safe bed and food and a home at night. Tell us how important this boarding school would be to your local community.
Well, first of all, Peter, thank you for having me on your program. And I'd like to thank Rebecca Weller as well for giving me her house to be able to speak to you today live from her place in Pathaway. With the Yipirinya School, yes, it's been a struggle. And we really need a boarding school for our students who are homeless most of the time, and they wander the streets of Alice Springs, and there's no support whatsoever given to these students and their families. And it's terrible how this situation is still ongoing, and it's really an embarrassment to have spoken to various people about the issue, and nobody wants to listen to any of the issues that we have about the school and the students, which is heartbreaking.
I made the point that a lot of these kids may not have a home. They might be sleeping in cars. It's one of the reasons they're on the street. Or they might be, in some cases, the principal told me, on a bus for 4 hours a day to even get to your school. I mean, what's the point of having a voice in Canberra if Canberra isn't listening now?
Yes, that's exactly right. I sat on an advisory body for the Northern Territory, and I chaired it. And the minister at the time, who oversaw the advisory body, was Marion Scrimger. Now, she appointed us, and then the day that she appointed us, she resigned. And Alison Anderson became the next minister, who has handballed the advisory body. And she didn't last long, so it was given to Malundari McCarthy. So there you go. They don't listen. They didn't listen to the voices of the Aboriginal leaders that were nominated to represent their people at that time. Why would they listen now if they didn't listen then? And for this school, we, have plans today. They developed, application stage, and we're hoping to get funded so we can build it. And I'm happy to say we have donations, and we've had a first donation so far, and we hope to get some more, which would help build a boarding school for our students who really need somewhere where it's safe for them, so that they can have a place to sleep and they can come to school every day and be looked after by their own family members, instead of walking the streets of Alice Springs all night till daybreak.
Yeah, what I love about it is it's a practical solution, because in this area, as you know, there's so much talk and not enough action. I am really disappointed. I know that the coalition agreed to fund this prior to the last election, but I'm really disappointed to see the comments from Marion Scrimshaw that she says Labor won't support the current proposal because of the principle Well, I reckon he was a pretty impressive bloke when I met him. But also, she says, because of the Country Liberal Party. Now, is the reason why Labor are not supporting it because it's a commitment of the coalition? Surely, if both sides of politics can support it, you can get it done, and away we go.
Yep, it's disgusting that it's become political. We should be thinking about the students. We should be thinking about creating a safe environment for the students instead of being political about it. We spoke to Linda Burney, myself and Gavin and some of the Aboriginal staff, and she had no idea as to what we were trying to tell her and the need for it. And she just sat there and ignored everything that our councillors, our board members and our Aboriginal teachers tried to tell her. And that was the Minister for Aboriginal Affairs. She ignored everything that our Aboriginal staff brought up with her. And Marion Scrimger...
Keep fighting hard.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in her.
Keep fighting hard, Bess Price. I know people watching tonight are behind you. We think you're extraordinary. I think I've been to the school. I think the school and the boarding school is a terrific idea. Let's hope you get there. We'll keep pushing for it too. Thanks, Bess. Thanks for your time.